What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a comics reaction where we smash, dash, and we react. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel. Man, hit that bell notification for future fire reactions, man. Man, and I got a comic reaction, man. And this goes out to all the active channels that I've seen, right? This is my opinion, my reaction to it. I've seen all kinds of channels speak about dropouts and those that are on YouTube. First of all, I mean, this is based upon what your background is. And for the Northerners, Norteños, that fall under the NF Mandala, they're always taught and schooled. Well, if you've been properly schooled, a dropout's never going to consist of being called a Northern Norteño because those are supposed to be movements and causes. They're not an organization. They're structured, they're organized, but not an organization. They are allies to the NF. The NF is the only organization. So, which we call those that are no longer active. You call them NGNs, no good Northerners, no good Norteños. You call them degenerates, bandidos, because it depends what they did. Not every no good Northerner is a bandido, and not everyone I would consider a degenerate. But in any event, it doesn't matter. We're going to use the word dropout because it's kind of a universal term that's being used, and I've seen all kinds of different channels approaching this subject. And what's my opinion on it, man? Well, this is YouTube, right? And I think anybody can voice their opinion. And I really haven't seen too many channels be disrespectful, even in their opinion. I've seen the Baker's Dozen. He was real respectful. He spoke on his belief and didn't try to influence anybody else, but what he considers how he was taught, as far as his moral compass and his beliefs. Real respectful. Even Haters World. I seen his one. He says, I like, why I like his channels because he says, I don't give a fuck. Well, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a shit. I like how he's blunt. He voiced his opinion. He's going to stay with that opinion. So it's okay for people to have their own opinion and views. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was active, first and foremost, if I was active, I would not be on YouTube. That's the truth. Those are my beliefs. And that's what I stick to. And that's not to knock anybody that claims that they're active on YouTube. That's just my personal belief, right? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with anybody being on YouTube. But when you get into touchy subjects like politics and dropouts and all that, you're talking prison politics on YouTube. So they may want to try to steer clear of those issues if they're actives. Because you don't really see no active Northerner channels that are pushing, channels discussing those type of topics. But that's not my business, and it's really their business. However they wish to deal with that. Now, whatever they got to say, they can say. Even if it's disrespectful, even if it's derogatory, they have the right because they have their certain belief. And it doesn't matter if you're active Norteño or active Sureño, both those groups have the same belief. And they've had mutual agreements. I was in the shoe before to where if an actor came that was a Southsider, we were to get off on. So if you're active Northerner, if you're active Sureño, the truth be told, and someone touched on this, man, that you got to be real careful who you talk with on these channels, because if you put yourself out associating with these channels, you may think it's all good, but it's not going to be when you touch that county jail. There's a good chance it's not going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be paying some type of tax or fine. Those are facts. Opinions are opinions, man. It's kind of hard for me to see when I was, all these active YouTubers, there's not one of them that was more actively involved in the mix as I was. With all these active, no matter who they associate with, right? I would never speak derogatory about any individuals, especially any dropouts that I know, regardless of what they did, because I know the realities of that life. It's like I seen Chico Rose fucking flip. You know what I'm saying? Seen Weechel get deemed no good. And these individuals, they weren't no punks, man. They put in a lot of work, made a lot of sacrifices, right? So regardless of what got them on that side, I'm never going to speak really negative about them because I know what they're capable of and I know what they were about at one time. And I never, as a youngster, never understood why they made the choices they made. Sometimes I did. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it happens right in front of you. You know why they made the choice, but you just don't say nothing because you're more worried about your own fucking career. That's the truth. That's the reality. So I think it's hard to really speak bad about a man that you don't have no personal relationship or personal understanding or what they've been through or what they've done. You can only assume. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you get labeled the title dropout, whatever they may do, people think automatically they're going to be a bitch or a punk, but they forget that some of these dudes have more training and education and fucking more skills to their tool belt than those that are trying to speak upon them. Those are facts as well. So it's a touchy subject. So, you got dudes that were part of this and part of that. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, this is a true fact. I'm telling you this right now. This is 100% accurate. However, these organizations view those people, they view them, right? But that's not for other people to speak upon. That's a fact right there. Because it's basically, say if an ordinary fucking, NF member drops out, right? Bro drops out, whatever. And people are starting to speak on it, talk shit. Well, the organization is going to get mad because you're basically worried about their business. This is their issue to deal with. And you're basically fucking bringing attention to the subject by talking about it. There's a certain way these organizations operate so you can get the right way. You know what I'm saying? And this has happened in the past to where, people were told information and it pretty much got out there. And next thing you know, they're tipped off before they get hit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these organizations don't play. And so this is like kind of just me kind of addressing it. It's better just not even to approach the subject, not wanting to have anything to do with it, than having a discussion about it. That's my personal view, my personal opinion, and that comes from someone that was involved in the mix. Now, you got those who will be on YouTube, and you got some people, subscribers and viewers, that are popping up in the feeds, and they're making comments, and they have their fucking names, or they show their face. Don't think because someone didn't do this, and they just walked away or whatever, or got deemed. Don't think that these organizations are not going to hold you accountable for that, because they will. You know what I'm saying? Especially with some of us that have said there's no time frame where none of these channels didn't say too much on the northern side. Exposing a lot of shit. And that's just the reality of it. They don't forget. So this is just some kind of for people to think, and this is my reaction to it, is that, it's a sign to be careful in what you do. Don't feel like that you're on a pedestal above everybody else, because no matter what, people are going to have the same view. And people could be at the safe comfort of their own home, or they could walk down the street and, there's that dude that fucking fucks with those cats. Let's get them. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, man. If you think that they feel any different about me than any of these other cats, you're mistaken on that, man. That's the truth of it. Does that mean I think people should be reacting to it? No. It's not their business, especially if it's one from the other side. We used to trip, and this was in the hole, because before there was relationships with Southsiders that were better, and with whites, when we go the hole, the dudes that were our trash, they were fucking talking to and dealing with. We couldn't dictate what they did, but we felt offended by that. You know what I'm saying? So how do you think these organizations are hearing when people sit there and fucking bump their gums or support some people who are this and that? So be very careful on here about who your name, showing your face and whatnot. There's a lot of things that is not going to be disclosed or put out there. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers will act like they're all good. Hey, you should be on the channel. No more seeing you. Whoa, whoa. Next thing you know, they put a bullet in the back of your head to make an example. For a minute, when these channels came out, I know in San Jose, they didn't want, you could be fined and disciplined on the spot if you were caught watching our channel and you were active. This is 100% facts. That's how serious. So they don't want none of their business. They don't want to hear about dropouts and degenerates on these channels. For those that do it, I don't care if they do it or not, because they're going to do what they're going to do. It's YouTube. No one dictates anybody's programs. Ain't nobody, no bullies on here. And I can only speak for me that I'm not scared of nobody. Very few people I know for a fact are not scared of nobody. But that doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes we do reactions when people do take shots, because it does give views. At the end of the day, we're all men, and that's what people forget. And that's my reaction to it. People forget motherfuckers are men. If a motherfucker was shooting people, stabbing people 10 years before, what makes you think that they're not capable of doing that now? Now, that's the funny thing, is you'll start having people who were not with that life, and they feel that they can jump in from the sidelines, which it's YouTube, so they can, but it's kind of offensive. It's kind of fucking just crazy. That's my opinion. But when these channels talk about it, their views, their opinion, and I haven't seen one that's really gone overly disrespectful. I think sometimes the channels that are fucking being talked about are more disrespectful towards each other than fucking the people that make videos that are other channels. That's just my opinion, man. You know, it's a delicate topic, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's something that you have to be careful for because, like I said, people are watching, man. They're observing everything. They're taking notes. You know what I'm saying? There's people assigned to every one of our lives to watch and see who's tapping in the comments. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because they're going to capitalize off that. They're going to take advantage. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're looking for little lugs that you drop, who you may know, where you grew up, where you lived. And they can put 2 to 2, and 3 to 3, and 4 to 4 together and figure out who the person is. Next thing you know, the fellas are knocking at your door. Oh, you want to be cleared? You owe 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to be put on a list. It's as simple as that, man. So I think that people should steer away from it. And I think those two, this is what I'm going to say this too, right? If someone is not in good standings and they didn't leave in good standings from prison and whatever they've done, I think people have to be more transparent about it because there's some people who think certain individuals are active at times when some of us know it's not true. And I think that could put people's lives in danger who feel free and at liberty to, you know what I'm saying, interact and have their name put out there. So that has to be something that people have to take heed to, man, because there's people that know things about certain people, you know what I'm saying? And they're watching everything. So, you know, for those that do jump on our lives, make sure that your lifestyle is not about that gang life anymore, that you're truly not with that and that you're about change. You know what I mean? Because men like that, you're not worried about going back to jail. You're not worried about those activities. You're not worried about a label that people give you. With that said, man, this is my thoughts, my views. Some I've heard, seen, talked about. I figured I'd drop a video on it, man. So it's a Convicts Reaction. Your boy Flacco. I'm out.